day started with a nice open woods to hike through. One of many bridges that we've seen. One of the few ponds actually we've seen this entire time. Little river I share the video with you. And just another view of down in these valleys, how thick this mountain laurel can get. Pretty incredible. We're waiting for mid-May or so before all these trees will have, I guess, little quarter to $half size white flowers on them. It's supposed to be incredible. And all of a sudden you pop out and you're in the middle of the open again. So pretty amazing what we get to see. And here I am performing a Superman act, about down a 3-foot ledge. It was remarkable, but I survived. Gary wanted to show that, I guess. Today we stayed at Woods Hole Hostel. The cabin and original house were 1820 and 1840. It's still ran by the granddaughter of the original owner. It's a beautiful, kind of idealistic setting. Beautifully decorated inside. You can see a great view, and we had a spectacular sunset. We had a decent morning this morning. Ran into a lot of wildflowers again. Things are really starting to kind of pop in certain areas. It's kind of weird. It's elevation dependent. You can see here we're kind of low and it's nice and lush. Up top it's not quite so much. We had this view. These pictures were taken 5 minutes apart. It's pretty incredible how the stuff moves in and out. It rained on us a little bit. We reached a place called Angel's Rest, which was supposed to have a spectacular view, but it was fogged in, so we didn't get that view. But overall, it was a good morning. A little wet mid-morning into 1 o'clock or so. It was cool and windy. The wind we have fought. It seems like this entire trip, it's been the worst part of it. Made a new friend today. And we ended the day with another beautiful sunset. We woke up to this spectacular sunrise. Found a lone tulip out in the field and had great views all morning. The downside is the wind was 30 to 40 miles an hour and it was fairly cool. Ran across this old orchard, had a mix of apple and cherry trees in it. It was really pretty neat up there. Another bridge. Another nice sunset. And
then
yeah.
no, but I'll just sometimes I'll every now. Sun speaks. Kind of thought about sunrise.
Stand still.
Yeah.
This is Carrie. We're up high here, so you can see there's not much growth. It's an old farmstead we found. It looks like a hub of a wagon wheel.
You can probably notice that the leaves have really started to pop out. The 4 or 5 days of nice weather, things are blossomed out, leafed out. Now granted, we are at lower elevation and you go higher and there's a decrease, but
one of the ridges we walked today, things just really haven't started growing up here. About a 2,000-foot difference in the two videos. Just show you what spring's like here. These are some pictures of the meadows we walked through this morning. It's pretty stark contrast to the hillsides we've been on. It was kind of beautiful. Dogwoods are starting to bloom out. May apples. Ran across this old shed and had some unexpected guests on the trail.
okay, buddy, you're gonna have to move.
This cow didn't seem too happy we were there at first, and she finally ran off. There's probably, I don't know, close to 20, 25 cattle back in this woodlot. And this is right before we got to what is known as the oldest oak tree on the southern part of the Appalachian Trails, the Kiefer Oak. It's over 300 years old. This thing was massive. An absolutely gorgeous tree. You can see how big it is compared to Carrie there. It's pretty impressive. Here we go. This is probably 3 hours later. Back up on the ridge, climbing through some rocks, and all of a sudden, boom, there's this big valley. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The video doesn't really pay it justice how beautiful this was. The color contrast, the dark greens and light greens, and you can really see up on that ridge how it was coming in. Up on the ridge, there's a place called Bruiser's Knob cairns. These are believed to have been built by farmers years ago. Really don't know an explanation of it. A broader view of the valley below us there. It was actually pretty cool. Then we came across the Audie Murphy monument. This is the site of the plane crash that took his life. It's actually a really cool, kind of moving monument. It's pretty neat to be able to visit it. We had a little sunset in our camp. Random trap hanging on a tree. More videos of the pastures we walked through. And again, these are active cattle grazing pastures, so there's horses and cattle around. You can see some of the dogwoods are coming in pretty good. We're probably at about 3,000 feet here. 3,000 to 3,500. You get much higher at this point, and there's really not that much indication of spring. You get much lower, and spring's well developed. It's pretty interesting to see how 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 feet really makes a huge difference in what's starting to pop out and what's not. Then we reached the 700-mile mark. A big milestone for us. 700 miles, a lot of miles ago, but we're still positive and ready to go.
So,
Until next time,
ramble on.